What would it do with $1,000? Last year, I had exactly $1,000 set aside just in case. I thought that this money would last a long time, but as it turned out, the rainy day came unexpectedly. I was flooded. This money completely covered the repairs and saved me from having to get into debt. After that, I realized a reserve for a rainy day is not a luxury but a necessity. Investment in the future. I invested $1,000 in an online design course. At the time, it seemed like a huge risk. I wasn't even sure I'd succeed. But a year later, I was freelancing, earning 3 times more than before. That $1,000 changed my life. Spend or save. When I received an unexpected $1,000 bonus, I decided to split it in two. I put half into a high-interest account and spent the other half on a trip with friends. And you know what? No regrets. I got both financial stability and great memories. Get to others. One day, I had a spare $1,000 that I didn't need for urgent matters or debts. I decided to divide it into 10 parts of $100 and just give it to those in need. A single mother, a street musician, a waiter who worked with soul. It was the happiest moment in my life. I received more happiness than this money cost. A risk that paid off. A friend of mine talked me into investing $1,000 in cryptocurrency in 2016. I wasn't sure it would work, but I took the risk anyway. A year later, I withdrew $25,000. I haven't taken that risk again, but it turned out to be the best financial decision of my life. Buying a dream. I always wanted to learn to play the piano, but I couldn't afford it. When I got a $1,000 tax refund, the first thing I did was go to a music store and buy a used digital piano. Now, playing it every night is the best part of my day. It was money well spent. Full upgrade. When I got $1,000, I decided to spend it on upgrading my workstation. I bought a new monitor, a comfortable chair, and a good microphone. Now my work has become much more comfortable, and even simple tasks are pleasant to do. This money definitely paid off. Mini business. I invested $1,000 in a small project. I started baking homemade cakes to order. I used this money to buy equipment and ingredients. A few months later, I earned twice as much and decided to develop this business further. These $1,000 became the beginning of my small bakery. Dream trip. I had been putting off a trip to the city I had dreamed about since childhood for a long time. When I had $1,000, I just bought tickets, booked accommodation, and went there. It was one of the best decisions of my life. I came back with a lot of impressions and a feeling that I was truly living. Charity. I decided to donate $1,000 to help a local animal shelter. The money was used to buy food, medicine, and even fix up a few cages. Knowing that I helped these cute creatures makes me feel incredibly happy. Lessons for life. I invested $1,000 in education, took a course in financial literacy. Now I know how to better manage money, invest, and save. Thanks to this knowledge, my finances have become more stable, and money works for me. Family gift. When I had an extra $1,000, I decided to give my parents a present. I bought them a comfortable sofa they had long dreamed of. Their joy was priceless for me, and I did not regret the money spent for a second. Experiment with stocks. I decided to invest $1,000 in stocks. It was a risk, but I studied the market and made some smart purchases. After a year, my investment had grown by 40%. This experiment gave me confidence that I could understand finance. Creating a blog. I have long dreamed of starting my own blog, and $1,000 helped me with this. I bought a good camera, microphone, and a domain for the site. Now, it is my favorite activity, which over time even began to bring in income. Quiet Harbor. When I got $1,000, my first thought was to spend it on something quick and bright. A new phone, clothes, or another guitar for my collection. But then I decided otherwise. I rented a small room in a holiday home for 3 days, away from the internet, work, and city noise. It was my personal solitude. I walked along the river, read books, drank hot tea on the terrace, and just kept quiet. These 3 days rebooted my brain and gave me a new outlook on life. The money I spent came back to me in the form of calm and clarity of thought. Unforeseen circumstances. I had $1,000 set aside for something useful, but one day the car broke down. And not just broke down, it required major engine repairs. Without a car, I couldn't drive to work, and without a job, I couldn't stay afloat. That money covered most of the repairs, and I was grateful to have it. After that, I learned to value a financial safety net more. The spirit of entrepreneurship. When I saved up $1,000, I invested it in a small business. I bought a batch of handicraft supplies and started selling bracelet-making kits. I advertised my first orders among friends and on social networks. I gradually expanded my range and now earn about $500 a month. This money gave me a start on my entrepreneurial journey, and now I have a dream of opening a store. Investing in health. I always put off visiting a dentist, citing a lack of time and money. But one day I realized that I could no longer tolerate toothache. I spent $1,000 on treatment and prosthetics. It was the best decision. Now I smile without embarrassment, eat without discomfort, and feel confident. Sometimes it is better to spend money on yourself than on something external. Helping your neighbor. A friend of mine had a dream to write and publish a book. He was working in an office, barely making ends meet, and kept saying that he needed some financial support to get started. When I got $1,000, I offered to help him. We printed the first copies, and he started promoting them through social media. Now his book is the second most popular in the local bookstore, and he never stops thanking me for this chance. Art lessons. With $1,000, I finally signed up for a painting course I had wanted to take for a long time. I wasn't sure if I had talent, but I had always been drawn to paint and canvas. The money covered tuition, supplies, and even my first art festival, where I sold a few of my paintings. It turned out that a hobby can be a source of joy and inspiration. Student memory. I was a student and won $1,000 in a local essay contest. Instead of spending it on parties or new gadgets, I decided to give my parents a gift. We hadn't spent time together for a long time, so I organized a family dinner at a nice restaurant. We laughed, reminisced about old times, and that evening remained in my memory as one of the warmest moments of our lives. Escape from routine. I used $1,000 to go to the mountains and spend a few days completely alone. A tent, a fire, fresh air. That's all I needed to feel alive. I came home with a boost of energy and new ideas that helped me stop being a hostage to routine. Therapy through joy. One day I decided I wanted to try something completely new. I spent $1,000 on tickets to a cooking class in a nearby town. There I learned how to cook dishes that I had previously found difficult and met some amazing people. This money gave me not only new skills, but also the feeling that I could indulge myself whenever I wanted. Creating a cozy space. I always dreamed of a place in the house where I can completely relax and forget about my problems. When I had $1,000, I decided to create my own personal corner. I bought a comfortable chair, a small table, a lamp with warm light, and several plants. With the rest of the money, I bought a stylish rug and shelves for books. Now it is my favorite place for reading, relaxing, and just thinking. This money gave me a feeling of peace and comfort that was previously lacking. Helping a stranger. I was walking down the street and saw an old lady trying to fix her old bike. After talking to her, I learned that she used it to go grocery shopping every day. The next morning, I used part of my $1,000 to buy her a new bike. Her surprise and joy were priceless. I spent the rest of the money on food for a local shelter. It was the best way to spend money, to do good. Creative beginning. With $1,000, I decided to start a YouTube channel. I bought a quality camera, a lavalier microphone, and lighting equipment. The first videos were simple and filmed in a room, but viewers liked my content. Now my channel is making money, and it has become my favorite thing to do. $1,000 helped me find a new passion that changed my life. Travel to the past. I always wanted to know more about my roots. For $1,000, I ordered a genetic test and organized a trip to the city where my ancestors lived. It was more than just a trip. It was a profound experience that helped me understand who I am and where I come from. Meeting relatives, telling stories about the past, and walking through the places where my family once lived left an indelible mark. Well-being through sport. I never really cared about my health until I got some alarming test results. The $1,000 went towards a gym membership, new workout clothes, and a consultation with a nutritionist. After a few months, I felt stronger and more energetic. That money helped me realize that taking care of your body is an investment in your quality of life. The most expensive dog. I had a German Spitz named Charlie, whom I absolutely adored. One day, I noticed that he was moving strangely and barely eating. The vet diagnosed a rare joint disease that required urgent surgery. The amount? Exactly $1,000. I didn't hesitate for a second. I gave it all. Charlie successfully underwent the surgery, and a couple of months later, he was happily running around the house again. It was as if we had become even closer, and I realized that happiness is sometimes measured by wagging a tail. DIY lifestyle upgrade. I was living in a rented apartment that looked more like a storage unit for old furniture. With $1,000, I decided to transform my space. I bought cheap paint, new curtains, some shelves, and a couple of stylish lamps. I repainted the walls myself, put together shelves, and hung curtains. The biggest purchase was a comfortable sofa. This was my first DIY project, and although not everything turned out perfectly, the apartment began to look like a home. And the funniest thing is that I accidentally painted my cat gray when he decided to help. The best dinner of my life. When I got my $1,000 bonus, I took all my friends out to the most fancy dinner. We went to a restaurant with no prices on the menu. Scary, huh? I ordered everyone what they wanted, including a bottle of expensive wine. We laughed, reminisced about our old, silly moments, and took a million photos. For dessert, we ordered a huge cake that everyone ate with their hands. Yes, my entire bonus went away in one evening, but the memories of that night are priceless. Good deed on the bus. One day I was riding a bus, and there was a woman sitting next to me with two children. She looked tired, and her children were asking me to buy them sweets. She didn't even have enough money to buy a return ticket. I took out the $1,000 I was going to put toward repairing the car and gave it to her. At first she refused, but then she cried and accepted it. A year later I met her by chance, and she told me that she was able to rent a place to live and get a job thanks to this help. The most unexpected contribution to the future. I bought $1,000 lottery tickets on a bet with a friend. We always joked that only fools win. The result? We both lost, but one of my tickets turned out to be a promotion where I won a free year of gym membership. Who would have thought that it would motivate me to start working out? Now I look better than ever, and my friend always jokes that it was a lottery jackpot for my health. Investing in a dream? With $1,000, I decided to make my childhood dream come true, to become a photographer. I bought a used DSLR, a couple of lenses, and started taking pictures of everything. Nature, friends, the neighbor's dog. After a couple of months, my photos started getting noticed on social networks. Now I photograph weddings and get paid for it. And it all started with that $1,000, which helped me believe in myself. $1,000 superhero. My neighbor is a guy who loved comics, but could never afford a good superhero costume. I decided to surprise him. I ordered a Spider-Man costume from a tailor for $1,000, an exact copy from the movies. When he saw the gift, he was stunned, and then he went out to the kids in the costume. It was the kindest and funniest moment. The kids just adored him, and he looked like he had become a superhero himself. Trip to nowhere. I got tired of the routine and decided to have an adventure. I bought a train ticket to a random city with $1,000. I didn't plan a hotel or a route. I just showed up, found a cheap hostel, and wandered around the city. I tried street food, met locals, even helped a street musician raise money by playing drums. It was the best spontaneous trip of my life. A new start for a friend. I have a friend who got into a tough situation. He lost his job and his apartment. With $1,000, I helped him rent a room for a couple of months while he looked for a job. A few weeks later, he found a great position and was able to get back on his feet. Now he jokes that I am his first investor, and I am proud that I was able to support him in a difficult moment.